Jessica hasn't noticed us doing that. Hello, welcome to Screen Source, our show here on Color Circuit about film and television. We talk a little bit about news. We go over reviews of some of the shows and things that we're watching, and then we watch some trailers towards the end, so it's a lot of fun. My name is Dylan. I'll start to my left here.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Kevin.
Thank you all for being here. There's a lot of amazing news this week. Mostly it's just me looking forward to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
At least upcoming news. And in this past week, there's been some stuff too. I think we're probably winding down on Weinstein news. Yeah, it seems like it's dwindling out. But there is some reactionary stuff that's happening now.
I mean, it's just never going to end now. I mean, it's not going to be about him anymore. It's going to be about every single person that has sexually harassed someone. It's just going to keep going forever, which is sad. But that's okay. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, got to air all that dirty laundry.
Yep. It's got to come out somehow.
Realizing I usually take notes before the show, and I didn't take the notes. So I'm just going to pull up my notes that are not really my notes, but somebody else's notes.
Somebody else's notes?
Let's get going. So our first article of the day is... Bond's got it. He's almost there.
While we're waiting, I do want to say that I had I tried to get a sponsorship from Humble Coffee, but they did not sponsor us, and I figured we should try to go with a bigger brand. So today I'm drinking Starbucks. So if Starbucks is watching and you want to sponsor our show,
they need all the help they can get.
Please.
Yeah. They're a struggling company.
Local place.
Local.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, we only promote local here.
That's all I have to
Starbucks. Okay, so our first topic of the day, success of Taika Waititi. So a lot of things coming out. We have Thor Ragnarok, which comes out this Thursday. We have some potential for What We Do in the Shadows spinoffs, and then also potential for Black Widow comedy. So let's start with What We Do in the Shadows. For those of you that haven't seen this, this is a docu spoof. What's that called? A mockumentary that came out. I don't remember what year.
It's like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, and it's an amazing film. Jessica and I were just laughing like within the first 10 seconds. Taika plays the main character in the movie, but he also wrote and directed it. And he wrote it alongside Jermaine Clement. Anyway, so the news that came out this week is that there's going to be a third potential spinoff for it. So he's talked about 2 spinoffs for it already. One of which was the one with the
werewolves.
The werewolves. It's called Werewolves. Werewolves. And I think that's supposed to be a film spinoff. And then he's also talked about like a buddy cop X-Files type of television show based off the 2 cops that are in that film. If you remember, they weren't in it a lot, but they were really funny what chemistry they did have. And so the third one is they're trying to develop a US version of What We Do in the Shadows TV show. And we don't know a ton about it. What we do know is that he mentioned in an interview recently, he's in talks with, let's see. Sorry, guys. Werewolf Centric, second spinoff of the mockumentary X-Files. And then bonkers and comedy driven is what he's going for. I mean, that's just him. Everything he does. So I need to see everything Taika right now is what I'm excited for.
Yeah,
Have you seen Hunt for the Wilder People?
Yes.
Yes. And that was his last film
Before
Thor. Yeah. Which comes out this Thursday. So I'm excited about that. Then Thor Ragnarok comes out this Thursday. It is being lauded as maybe the funniest superhero film of all time. And that's saying a lot considering the second what am I thinking of, guys?
Guardians?
Guardians came out. I mean, just the Guardian series in general. It's super
really
funny.
funny.
Ant-Man, super funny. But Taika is probably just funnier than all those people put together. And so, and then also Joss Whedon
He said that it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, said it's a masterpiece recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm super excited about that. I'm assuming we're gonna go this Thursday or Friday. You guys are welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome to come.
Yep.
Oh,
Come
well,
with
thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Come
Heartfelt
with us. Come with us,
invitation.
please.
And then also in another interview recently, he said that somebody asked him if he wants to do more superhero films, and he says, yes, absolutely. I'd really like to do a Black Widow comedy. And so that's kind of a weird character to choose from because she hasn't been huge in the MCU, but she's been in it.
And not huge in comedy from what I can tell.
No,
really,
I don't think she's a
right?
comedy
I mean,
character.
Wait,
No.
who's the Black Widow?
She's Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Okay, that's what I was.
Yeah. She's mostly been in the Avengers films, and
Yeah.
she's also been in the Captain.
She's probably the least
America.
funny person in the Avengers. I mean, I think
she's a very serious character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Scarlett Johansson can be very funny.
yeah.
What's she been
So
funny
hopefully-
in?
I'm trying to
We
think.
can, some Woody
Okay, so
Allen
she's in that
stuff
comedy
that she's been in.
Ghost World, maybe.
Oh,
I
Ghost
haven't
World
seen
is
Ghost World.
great. Ghost World is so good.
It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
It's that
Yeah.
movie Rough
Dark.
Night that came out like a couple months
Right.
ago.
Okay.
It was not a great movie. She was fine in it.
Under the Skin.
That
hilarious.
was a riot, a laugh riot.
A laugh riot.
Wow,
Hmm.
my sides hurt after that. No, that's not a funny movie.
So Taika, I mean, he's going to be, I think, one of our the next big directors. I think she's just going to be everywhere, and he's going to blow up, and especially for comedy. And what I love, I think, most about this is that he's really kind of spreading his comedy everywhere into things that aren't normally comedy, and he's doing a lot of it in the U.S. where a lot of the film industry exists. And so, because otherwise, he's from New Zealand, I believe, right? Is that right?
Yeah, New Zealand. Was he involved? I don't know if any of us know this with Flight of the Conchords. I know he's worked with Jermaine Clement.
I believe he was. I believe he was one of the creative forces on there
Okay.
with them. Brit
Brit.
and Jermaine.
Brit.
And Jermaine.
Is it Brett?
It's Brit.
It's Brit.
Brett? Brett? Brett?
Brit.
Brit.
He maybe did.
I love Flight of the Conchords.
I know, it's the
So
best.
funny.
I watched I think it was the first movie that he made. And I forget what it's called. I'm looking it up. Eagle versus Shark.
Okay, I always wanted to see that.
And it's like a fun, quirky little indie romance with I don't know the name of the actress, but it's between her and Jermaine.
Okay.
And it's got some random stop motion animation kind of sprinkled throughout.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
just- if you like his stuff, I would go back and rewatch that one. It's definitely not as polished as his later stuff. But you can see early on that he's a unique voice.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love this pineapple shirt that he's wearing. Yeah.
It's very big right now.
Very cool. All right, so our next topic. Logan team on dreaming up a Laura spinoff and finding the
twister.
drama in Wolverine's goodbye. So did anybody watch Logan?
Yes.
Yes.
I did. I fell asleep.
Fell asleep?
It
is
was so good.
Yeah, I mean it's
I don't think it doesn't seem like your type of movie though.
No,
Kyle.
I mean I was excited for it, and I went with my friend, and we bought a bunch of candy and snuck it into the theater. We were in middle school, and we were really excited, and we ate a bunch of candy, and then we both crashed about,
Sugar high and then
in the last 30 minutes of the movie. And then we both woke up, and all of a sudden they're in the woods, and there's a bunch of kids running around.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
What the fuck? How did this happen? So it was a very confusing experience for me.
It made no sense.
That would be my main critique of this movie. Is
it's
that
confusing.
it just went from point A to point Z, and I just didn't understand anything in between.
Well, that's fair because you missed a good chunk of it.
So they,
Yeah, it's fair.
So they're in talks for an X-23 spinoff. So that is the little girl there with only 2 little scythes coming out of her hand or whatever those are called, adamantium claws. And I don't think there was anybody that said she did a bad job. She was great in this film.
Amazing.
She spoke Spanish 75% of it. I don't know what part you woke up at, but she eventually speaks English.
Okay.
And
it's really funny too the way that you find out that she like can speak English the whole time and understand. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And as far as we know, Hugh Jackman is done with this franchise, and he's hoping. He said in interviews that he's hoping that somebody else does pick up the Wolverine claws or that character. He's just kind of done with it. He said for a long time that this was going to be his last movie, and he also says he thinks that he's glad it went out on this high note. I mean, he said that he didn't think he did Wolverine justice until this most recent movie. And it's also kind of amazing too, because this movie was completely out of style for superhero films, and people think that it'll be up for Oscars and a bunch of awards. Yeah.
Not sure about that.
I thought it was really good.
And it has like a 97% or something.
Yeah, I thought it was
Tomatoes.
really good. I thought that the way that it was kind of like a Western style was really good, really creative. And then, I don't know, I really thought that the acting was great.
Yeah. And it's one of the few R-rated films for superhero movies.
I think for me it was a little too R.
Too R?
The violence.
It was violent, yeah.
It was pretty violent.
Like,
even
like
the
it
little
didn't need to
girl,
go that
like,
far.
she went crazy on some people, and it was kind of badass, though.
Yeah, it felt like they were making up for all the Wolverine movies where they didn't do justice to the comic book Wolverine, apparently. Not
Yes.
that I...
So this was based off of a comic book series called Old Man Logan, where he's basically they did a good job of representing an old version of Logan going out in style.
And he's getting older, and he has said that, like, he works so hard for this character. Like, he works out unbelievable amount of hours. He eats like just like such a strict diet, and it's just crazy how much preparation and like just willpower it takes for him to play this character. So I think he's tired. He's just like exhausted. I'm done, you know. Yeah. So
I liked Logan quite a bit. I think it was I was surprised about how like emotional I was at the end, and because I've seen all the Wolverine movies and I've seen most of the X-Men movies, and I just didn't realize like the connection that I apparently had to that character. So yeah, I thought it was a really good movie. I'm interested to see what they can do with this. I'm so confused by what the future X-Men are, because it feels like there's 15 different versions of the future X-Men, and they're all some version of young children. This girl should definitely be the one
To kind of take the reign for that. Apparently, during the filming of the first X-Men, when they introduced Wolverine and a lot of the characters, I think, how do you say his name? Dougray Scott.
Oh, Dougray Scott.
You guys recognize him from Mission Impossible 2?
Dougray.
He's also the love interest, and he plays kind of like Prince Charming person in Ever After.
Okay.
That's what
He was originally, like, he was on set being filmed he was Wolverine originally, and he was doing Mission Impossible 2, and he couldn't keep up with the schedule. And so they ended up calling their backup, Hugh Jackman, and then it just took off. And Hugh Jackman like ran into him later on and was like, "I'm really sorry that I basically
I took your fame."
Yeah. I mean, he's huge now because of this. Because I think prior to this he was just a stage performer, theater actor. I don't think he had been big in film yet. But
I love that he does lots of musicals. I love that fact that Wolverine.
And he has a really good voice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loves to sing and dance.
Anyways, I'm really excited about this. I mean, the X-Men series or franchise or stories, I think that might be my favorite amongst the superheroes. I just love this idea of everybody kind of having their own unique and magical powers, and then like watching. I'm not going to go into that yet. I was going to go into some spoilery things for some shows that are out now, but we'll get into it later, actually. All right, so I think that's it for our news today. We're a little bit light on the news, but that's okay.
Light news week.
Yeah, light news week. We do have news, etc., though, and that will come up right now. All right, so Thank you. Let's start with Jess. Jess wanted to talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, so Lethal Weapon 5 is in talks, and it's actually going to be with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, so it's pretty cool. I like the Lethal Weapon series a lot, and I'm excited. I think that it's going to be, if they do it right, it'll be fun. They're both getting up there in age, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But
they're both too old for this shit.
I know, right? But I think that could be like a fun, way for them to make a lot of jokes about being old, and yeah, I think it'd be fun.
I think the director and writer have confirmed that they want to do this, and I don't think the two actors are confirmed yet, but they've talked about like, yeah, if this were to happen, I'm in. So I don't know how far into any of this they are yet, but yeah, that should be fun. Is anybody a Lethal Weapon fan?
Yeah, I've watched them casually, and they're
background movie.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah, they're like fun buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Cool. Star Wars Last Jedi's Leia scenes are incredibly emotional, apparently. So says Jessica.
I read an article that just talked about how you all know that we're not gonna, because she died before the next film was being filmed. She's not gonna have any scenes in that movie, and the way that the movies are supposed to be set up is, the first movie was kind of all about Han Solo. This coming movie is going to be more focused on Luke, and then episode 9 was supposed to be more kind of like a Leia thing, and it really sucks because now she's not able to fulfill that. So that's why they were talking about how her scenes in this movie, she plays a bigger role. You had talked about that earlier, Kevin, that she really wasn't around a lot in episode 7, and she's going to be around a lot more in episode 8, and just that her scenes are going to be really emotional, not only because she died, but also because she's dealing with a lot of tough topics in this movie, like losing her husband and losing Han Solo, which is like a huge blow to the universe. So I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be.
Do you guys think they'll ever replace Leia like they did for? They did replace a character
CGI or how?
With another person. So they did that with going from the prequels. I'm sorry, from the sequels to the prequels with one of the characters. He was one of like the commanding officers for the Empire, and they got a different actor that looked just like him. And it was the guy that they ended up CGIing in episode 7.
Mofkin or Topkin. Or
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Was it in episode 7 or was it in Rogue One that they?
Oh, it might have been Rogue One.
It was Rogue One.
Yeah, it might have been Rogue One. But anyways, yeah, they got another actor for the prequel when they were doing the prequel series, and he looked just like him, and he sounded just like him. Do you think they'll do that for Leia?
No.
I don't think they would.
I don't think so either.
If they did, I know who I would want.
Ooh, who's that?
Ooh.
Natalie Portman.
No. Well, because Carrie Fisher and Meryl Streep are like really good friends. And Meryl Streep played the lead in a movie that Carrie Fisher wrote, Postcards from the Edge, where it's a very like autobiographical movie. So she already sort of played Carrie Fisher in a movie.
Cool.
So do you think the actors would have to look alike?
If anybody could do it,
it would be Meryl.
Meryl could
She
pull
can do
it off.
anything.
I think
there's nothing.
She's one of the worst actors of our
can't-
time, right?
You can't worry about making the replacement look like her at that point. It's just never going to be convincing.
Hello, Autistic, for joining chat. He says they get one that kind of looks like the prior actor or actresses. That's the thing, is that Meryl Streep, I don't think looks anything like Carrie Fisher.
No, but I don't think like
You don't think it needs to?
it's Meryl Streep. You know?
Yeah,
It's not like you like cast some bottom drawer actress to replace her. You went with the best.
Right.
I think that's enough to make it work. So if anyone at Disney's watching,
It's Kevin's idea. Pay him.
Meryl.
it was my idea first. So
Put a Muppet in there, says Hugh Turn.
Now that I'm okay with.
Okay.
Jim
I might be
Henson
down for
Creature
that.
Shop already has ties to the Star Wars universe, so let's just get. I mean, Yoda's a Muppet, essentially. So
Yeah?
let's do a Leia Muppet
You want to read the next?
with Meryl Streep voicing.
You want to read the next headline?
Yes, I do. Courtney Hengler in Cobra Kai. I don't know what the hell.
Cobra
any of
Kai
these- what
is
this means.
the martial arts group, or the. It was from Karate Kid.
Okay.
Nobody recognizes that?
Sure.
Yes.
You mean what's her name?
Hillary Swank.
Hillary Swank.
I don't know. Whatever.
What are we talking about? What the hell are we?
Jason skipped one. Can you go back to the other one?
Yes.
Oh.
God, jeez.
Disney. It was a late night last
Disney,
night.
Fox, and Paramount could lose the rights to their CGI characters to MOVA, the VFX facial capture technology company.
Whoa.
So apparently they are MOVA is like the company that created this facial capture technology that's used in everything now that makes everything look amazing. And Disney, Fox, and Paramount, I don't think they're using MOVA, but they're using MOVA technology or MOVA-like technology, and so they're saying this is our thing. You owe us a ton of money, or so they're trying to sue them apparently.
I don't like their chances going
No.
up against
No.
Disney.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
And
a small
Fox and Paramount. That's
Invest
like a
in
lot.
MOVA, everybody. Buy low.
Jessica.
Harvey Weinstein sues the Weinstein Company to help himself and the company. That
So apparently, he's saying that by suing the company, he thinks that he's actually helping the company. It's something to do with like legal rights to emails, I believe, and so he's saying that if he has those legal rights, then the company can't be. It's something a little bit like weird and convoluted and litigious. That's probably the word.
Litigatory.
Yeah, and I'm assuming in an article saying to help himself, I'm assuming he's saying he's defending himself and by saying that he didn't do anything.
Yep.
I think we're in the
he's wrong.
70s now. Yeah, like the amount of people that are accusing him, I think it's up to 70.
There's just no way that many people would lie about him being this much of a douchebag. He's a douchebag. It's confirmed.
I hear he went to
Confirmed.
rehab for a week and now he's all better.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that really helps.
Director Justin Lin and Jordana Brewster returning for Fast and Furious sequels. Justin Lin, I think, did the first one, and Jordana Brewster was also in the first one. She was the love interest to the main character.
Paul Walker's
character. Yeah. So that's for number 8, apparently.
I'm
Yay.
so over
Just
it.
do 8.
No, it's
9. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. They just did 8.
It's like,
Sorry.
let's just stop.
Yeah.
You're done.
Fate of the Fate.
They're still
They have fun
they're
with their
still
titles,
big,
at
man.
least.
Yeah.
How are you gonna fit 9 in there? I can't figure it out.
It'll be
figure it
German. That'll be based in Germany.
9. I don't know.
Oh God. Okay. Is it my turn next? I
No,
think
it's
it is.
Jason's.
Oh, it's Jason's.
The Predator motion picture poster promises shocking reboot in 2.5. Director Shane Black, Iron Man 3, and The Nice Guy, starring Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, and Keegan-Michael Key.
Okay.
All right.
So there was an app that came out recently for the new Predator film. And it's actually pretty cool, like the intro for it. It's like this lightning, and then eventually the lightning kind of turns into the Predator head. And so that's supposed to be for the reboot Predator, which is going to take place between 2 and 3, apparently. And I feel like it feels promising, especially with that director. And the fact that they're branding it as kind of a reboot to the series because the series has gone to the wayside in recent years. So I think that what they're going to do is similar to what they did for Alien, the Alien series.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. Kristen Bell says a Veronica Mars miniseries is totally happening.
Yay.
Quote
I
unquote.
like Veronica Mars.
Totally happening.
Yeah, she said in a
I
recent
love
interview
Veronica
that
Mars.
she needs this to happen. She wants it to happen. So
Yay.
I don't think that means very much.
They did a movie a few years ago.
Right. Kickstarted, right?
Yeah, I contributed to the Kickstarter.
Oh, cool.
I got a T-shirt.
Yay.
Nice.
And that was fun.
And it was a fun movie.
It was
I
a fun-
liked
yeah,
it.
I liked
Yeah.
it too. So yeah, I'm all on board for that.
Cool.
Jessica?
Stranger Things 2 is getting an after show on Netflix called Beyond Stranger Things with Jim Rash, which is awesome because I love Jim Rash.
I think it's on there already. I saw.
Oh, is it?
Cool.
Ooh, I
So
want to watch that.
how is it an after show considering
I'm like Talking Dead, probably.
No, he's saying because it's all
it's
pre-recorded.
all pre? I mean,
Yeah.
and you stream all the episodes. So are
Right.
you really just going to stop watching?
I think it's because the intention is you watch after.
Yeah, but do people have that type of, can they restrict themselves that much? Like, can you
in
really,
between episodes?
Yeah, can you stop yourself from watching the next episode immediately to go watch it? Yeah.
So because it kind of feels like a movie, no. I don't want to break that, like, my imagination of these people.
The momentum.
And the momentum, and then go back into it. Sometimes that's difficult
I'm sure
to do.
they like anticipate that though. So maybe it's more like meant to be you watch the whole
Series
Yeah.
and then you
And then
watch.
watch the whole-
I see. Okay.
I don't
And like
I would
talk
do
after shows are like big now. It started with kind of like Chris Hardwick's Talking Dead, and then Breaking. What was it called? Breaking Bad. Breaking Talk.
Talking Bad.
Talking Bad.
Bad.
Thank
Is that
you.
really what it was?
Yes, it was Talking Bad. And then Rick and Morty has one now that they film out of. It's a good show. What's the name of that? Yeah, but anyways, that studio. And now Jim Rash is doing this, so I'm really excited about that. And Jim Rash, the last thing I saw him in, I mean, he was big from Community. He was also I've seen him do live improv in L.A. and he's amazing. He's a Groundlings graduate.
Alum.
And the last thing I remember seeing him in though is he did it might have been a Netflix. I think it was a Netflix show, and it was like a behind the scenes with the writer. I think it was called The Writer's Room, where he talked to writers of these big television shows after they ended. So not always all the time, because he did Game of Thrones, he did Parks and Rec, he did Mad Men, a bunch of cool stuff. So I really like Jim Rash.
Yeah, he's really funny.
I like him as a performer. I don't like his writing.
Who is he?
He's the dean in Community.
Oh, yes. I like that guy.
By the way, Bond saes he's worked with Shane Black before, and that he's a nice guy, and he comes to New Mexico pretty often. That's cool.
Very cool.
And then Hugh Turn gives a shout out to Starburns Industries.
That's where they film
That's
Harmontown and the after show for Rick and Morty. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this me? Stranger Things star Charlie Heaton banned from U.S. because of cocaine. So Charlie Heaton is
Jonathan.
Is the Jonathan. He's the teenage boy. Apparently they found traces of cocaine in his luggage, and I think he's American.
I think he's British.
Is he
thought he was
British?
British.
Okay,
I
so
thought
he
from the
can't
UK.
leave the UK right now. Apparently, they won't. He was coming to the US for the premiere of season 2. This is like within the last couple days, and he couldn't make it.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
like,
why he hasn't been in
dude,
any
you have
promotion.
enough money
Yes.
to launder your clothes. Like, just get them washed before you get on the plane.
in character.
It could have been in the bag, though. You know.
What
Yeah.
character?
Yeah.
Just the character.
Oh.
The Jonathan character.
He looks like he does coke.
He does kind of look like he does coke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, he looks a little bit like.
Coked up.
I mean,
Coked out.
He
no,
looks
he's
more like a weed kind of guy.
yeah, he's very calm, right?
Yeah.
He
I
has a
thought
very calm
cocaine
energy.
makes you hyper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is why I don't feel
I
like
take
he's,
that back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on shrooms for sure.
Well,
as a
Get-
character.
get
Let's
over
just- The guy should have just washed his clothes. I mean, that's the bottom
I
line.
say just let people do drugs.
Smoke him if you got
Yeah.
him.
Yep,
Crack
I
cocaine.
agree.
We promote it here. And Starbucks.
If you're famous, and you're in a great show like Stranger Things, we should have
who
like
cares?
a law written.
Come on. Really just having some fun.
When you're a star, you
You know?
just be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying
It's
you
a
should be able
slippery
to
slope,
use
Jason.
cocaine.
You're basically the
specifically.
Weinstein of Screen Source.
Oh man.
All right, and now into our next segment, which I'll never remember the order of anything. Oh, it's coming soon now with Post Tomatoes, and Post Tomatoes always comes before.
Pre-tomatoes.
Guys, it's getting so good. It's getting so good. Except it didn't work out yet again. How about we should all do it? Coming soon now with Post Tomatoes, which always comes before.
Pre-tomatoes.
God
Sorry.
damn it. So the idea here is that every week we look at all the new movies that are coming out or television shows, and we guess what their Rotten Tomato score is going to be, and then we actually look at what the Rotten Tomato scores was over the weekend. And so this last week, we switched it up a little bit. We did television shows.
Yes.
We did The Walking Dead, Stranger Things 2, and the David S. Pumpkins Halloween special, which kind of replaced SNL's off week. So let's start with The Walking Dead. Kevin, you thought the Rotten Tomato score was going to be
75.
I thought it was going to be 80.
I thought it was going to be 90.
Or whoever my surrogate was, who was my
Scott.
Scott thought it would be 84.
And it actually got a Yeah. An 82. Scott. Ooh. Oh, Scott and Jess. I'm actually very surprised, honestly. I thought it'd be in the 90s.
Too high, probably.
Yeah. You guessed it. Good job. Okay, so for Stranger Things 2, Kevin, you thought it was going to be?
I went a little low. I said 79%.
I said 90.
I said 97.
Scott said 88.
And it was actually 94. Is that me? Yeah, I got something. This is as of yesterday, I think. So
Wow.
it may have changed by today.
Wow.
That's really good.
Doing really well.
And then the David S. Pumpkins special. Kevin thought it was going to be.
I said it wasn't going to
Brutal.
have a score.
Yeah. Jess?
I said it was going to be 63%.
I said 2.
Scott said 48.
And it was not available. Good job.
No one watched it. No one gives a
I looked
shit
it up
about
this morning and I was like,
stupid
what the
David
hell?
S.
I can't find-
Pumpkins.
Yeah. Good job, Kevin.
Sorry if you
Don't
like
waste your
David S.
time on it.
Pumpkins.
I
I
don't-
just don't care about him. He's
I don't
not
think it did
funny.
very well either.
Other than
what I
you
heard.
mentioning that it was going to happen, I hadn't heard anything about it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. It was just so big last year. I thought it was going to be big again this year, but
It's a fad.
it's a
it's
fact.
a fact.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Tom Hanks, but that was like his worst role that he's ever played.
I don't know about his worst, but definitely on the bottom.
It's one of.
It was that, and it was the one with the volleyball. Those are his two worst roles.
The volleyball one.
The volleyball one.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Exactly. Thank you. Next week, what we have is pre-tomatoes, and what we're going back to movies this upcoming week. So what's coming out is a Bad Mom's Christmas, promising.
Bleh.
Young Sheldon, the spin-off series of Big Bang Theory, and Thor Ragnarok, which is going to be a best one.
I'm very excited for. Wait, Young Sheldon is coming out next week.
That already has
That's
been.
Is it already out? Oh, season 2 then maybe is what I'm thinking
Season
of.
I
2.
think that'd be way too quick.
I don't know then, guys. I don't know. That's what I saw. Somebody needs to start proofing my work here because nobody's doing it apparently.
There might be a new episode of Young Sheldon.
That could be what it
Yeah,
is.
let's
That's
just
probably
rate
what
this
it is.
week's episode
Yep.
Of Young Sheldon. I want to rate
Absolutely,
David S.
let's do
Pumpkins.
that.
Can we all get on the David S. Pumpkins Rotten Tomato page and then rate that?
We're not critics. They will. I mean, the audience rating. I guess we can.
We'll be the audience rating. Yeah.
I'm not doing.
We've done audience rating only before just because there weren't any critic ratings.
And by
Yeah.
the way, the Hesher says that he wanted to talk about Stranger Things too. We'll probably talk about it a little
yeah,
bit
we're
here
talking
at the
about it.
end, so don't worry. Stick around.
Yeah. Okay, so A Bad Mom's Christmas. What is that going to get on the Rotten Tomatoes score?
The Hesher also says, "Can't wait to watch Young Sheldon. Totally reminds me of a friend of mine whose name rhymes with Bonathan."
Yeah, I gotta say, unfortunately, I
don't-
am not a fan of Big Bang Theory.
I don't like it either.
I don't think it's funny. I don't really. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Okay,
it's
so
funny?
Young Sheldon, season 1, episode 2, that might be the one coming out this week. Oh, first episode date was September 25th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, new episode's coming out this week.
Just whatever this episode.
We'll
is.
just rate
Episode
the show.
8 of Young Sheldon.
Okay, let's rate A Bad Mom's Christmas. What's that going to be?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, it has Christine Baranski in it.
Mm-hmm.
The Good Wife. So I'm gonna give it a 96.
Oh
God damn
shit!
it.
That's aiming
Is
high.
this a spin-off? Bad Mom's Christmas?
There's been a couple Bad Mom movies.
Okay,
now.
okay.
I don't really think that, but
Uh,
I'm gonna go with that.
I'm going to play it straight today, and I'm going to say 48%.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 2's been working out for me recently, so let's go with 2%. Yes,
I'm gonna go with the solid 57
right.
because
That
I
sounds
think
like a good one.
it'll probably be fun, but it won't necessarily be like a great movie. It'll just be like,
Yeah.
oh, this was cute.
All right, Young Sheldon, episode something.
Episode
Just in general, I'm gonna rate the show. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
I think this is gonna be a really good episode, you guys. I think this is when the show hits its stride.
I
It
hit
becomes
no
the critical
sarcasm in your
darling it
voice.
always knew it could be, and I'm gonna give it 76.
Wow, it's aiming high.
Okay,
again.
guys, look. The pilot came out September 25th, and the next show is supposed to be November 2nd, so it does come out this week. For some reason,
It took a month
it
off.
took a month off.
Okay,
And I've
so
seen that before,
episode
though, where they show
2
pilots way before the rest of the season actually starts. Yeah, that actually happened with the most recent season of Rick and Morty, too.
Well, I think that
Yeah.
they
So
were,
it did just start. Thank you. I did it.
they knew what they were sitting on, right? They
Gold.
released the pilot, and they've been sitting there twiddling their thumbs with smiles on their faces because they know that this is going to be. I'm gonna agree with Kevin. I think it's gonna be. What'd you say? 72?
76.
76. I'm gonna go 10 points higher. 86.
Ooh, 96.
50%.
Okay. So I have a question. It says that their first episode, it got 17.21 million viewers. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that medium?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
For
Good,
yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, considering it is one of the biggest comedy series or biggest comedy shows out kind of within the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
I heard it compared to the Wonder Years, Young Sheldon.
Oh,
Like, I mean,
it's
it's
so
like
much better.
Yeah, I don't think it'll live up to that. But
No. Yeah.
Cool. And Thor Ragnarok.
I've already sort of like
Peeked
seen some
at it? I have
reviews.
too. I know what it is. It's actually the title of today's episode. 96%.
I'm gonna go 94 in case it goes down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
It's gonna-
96%.
Ooh, you think it's going to stay? I think it's going to go up 98.
I'm going to go 97.
It's never gone up in rotten history.
I think it happens.
Yeah?
Is it certified fresh?
Yeah.
Yeah, already.
That's
I knew it would be.
amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
Pilot was too good,
I hope
says
you're
Scott.
kidding,
I don't
Scott.
believe him. I don't believe him. He's full of it. It's really
He said
funny
it was
because
too good. Like he was offended maybe by how good it was.
It was like
Let's hope so.
suspicious.
Dan Harmon, like, just whenever he does his podcast, he just randomly shits on Big
Young
Bang
Sheldon?
Theories,
Oh.
Big Theory, all the time. Just because I think
Zingo.
it was his biggest competition when Community was out. And as far as like the
Because
nerd
everyone's-
culture, kind of, you know.
There's the YouTube video where they remove the laugh track, and it's really sad because it's just all the friends just being really terrible to each other. Like the whole comedy is just them shitting on each other.
Speaking of laugh tracks, I don't think you put it on, but there's Will and Grace is, the series has been back on. They're on episode
They're being
4 or
filmed
something.
live, too.
They're being
They're
filmed
being
live, and
filmed
it has a
live.
laugh track. And I just feel like I haven't felt that or had that in a while for like, I don't know. I just haven't watched like a
Weird thing.
standard sitcom in a long
It's,
time.
and it
Multicam.
still holds up. It's really good.
Yeah,
been
it's
really
great.
good,
It's great.
so,
It's just weird to hear laugh tracks
yeah,
nowadays.
it is really weird.
All right, and the rest of the movies that are coming out that we won't give scores to are Last Flag
Lady Bird.
Flying.
These movies are so much better than the ones that we reviewed. What are we doing
But the thing
here?
is, they're not popular. Lady
What are you
Bird.
talking about? You put in Bad Moms 2.
Bad Moms 2 is fucking popular,
Like
man.
these are
Bad
these are
Moms 2 is
supposed to
not
be like
more
critical,
popular.
like Oscar.
Richard Linklater,
nominated.
I
Yes,
agree.
Richard Linklater.
I agree.
and,
Lady Bird.
Greta Gerwig.
Lady Bird has like 100%,
I'm
but it's a
gonna
limited
give-
release. I think. I don't think
All
it's
right.
I don't think it's a full release.
I'm still gonna give review. I'm gonna give my tomatoes to
Last Flag
these-
Flying, Lady Bird, which I think is certified fresh right now, and Blade of the Immortal, which is the 100th film of this director who's Takahashi. I can't remember his last name. Friends equals show about dumb people for not smart people. That's kind
I
of me.
don't agree.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia equals show about dumb people for smart people. Dang, you have some shots fired is what I'm hearing. Show about dumb people for smart people. Show about dumb people. For
kind of mean.
yeah, kind of switched it around there. I love Friends and It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. I love Friends and It's Always Sunny. So I
Uh,
can't agree with that.
I didn't ask you guys this, but for the last series of movies and for these ones, I guess, are you guys planning on watching any of them other than Thor?
Lady
Yeah.
Bird, I want to see that one.
I would.
Oh, are we? You mean the?
Yeah,
previous
yeah,
ones?
and this one, yeah.
I'm gonna see Thor.
Okay,
Obviously,
and then you're gonna watch Lady Bird.
and Lady Bird.
Okay.
I want to see Lady Bird, and I want to. I want to see Last Flag Flying as well, and Thor, and Bad Moms 2.
Yeah.
And episode 2 of Young Sheldon, and Blade of the Immortal.
Yeah, we
kind of
definitely
everything.
should have rated these ones. I
Guys-
think it would have been better, but that's okay.
Did we watch a trailer for Lady Bird?
Yeah.
It
did.
was really good.
I don't remember it at all.
So when like she's driving with her mom and they're arguing in the car, and then she opens the car door. Just
She just
That was great. I did love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rolls
that's good.
out.
And who's this actress?
Schwarzy Ronan.
Ronan.
She looks like a Game of Thrones extraneous character.
She does.
Is that where she's from?
She could be on
Could
Game of Thrones.
definitely
She's
be
been
on
in a
Game of
ton of.
Thrones.
She was in Atonement when she was
I
young.
never
watched
She
it.
was
that.
in Hannah, which is kind of a fun, weird action
Brooklyn.
movie. Brooklyn. Oh, I loved Brooklyn.
So good.
Kevin
She was
loved
in
it, everybody.
the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Aw, those are all movies I've wanted to see that I haven't gotten a chance to see.
She's
so.
really good. She's turning into a very good actress. Good young actress.
How old is she, do we think? Like 17, 18? Or is she older
She's
than
older than that.
She's probably like mid-20s.
She looks young.
She started when she was very young.
Yeah, I want to watch the Lady Bird. It looks quirky. Looks fun. Does she have a younger brother? Is that trailer? She's dealing with her younger brother a lot.
I was like,
So
No.
it's mostly
she's
about her
like-
relationship with her mom, who is what's her name
Okay.
from Roseanne.
yeah.
Okay.
And she's like trying to get into college or something, but she's
Oh,
been a
yeah.
really terrible student or something. Yeah,
Cool.
It looks great.
Well, anyways, yeah, it's doing very, very well right now. As far as the critics are concerned. Okay, so next is what are you watching this week? And every week we just talk about the movies or television shows that we're keeping up with or starting anew. Not that's not what I meant. I think anew is like you're bringing it back up again, like you're so starting fresh. Whatever. Annuity. Thank you. And I think we're starting with me again this week. So I am watching Skin Wars and Stranger Things. Do you guys know what Skin Wars is?
No.
It's a makeup show, right?
It's a body paint show.
Well,
It's makeup for the body. No, it's not the same thing, Kevin.
there's another. Oh, there's several people in there.
Yes. They
Oh, I didn't
blend
even
in
see
so
them.
well that
What
the
in
body
the
paint
heck
So
is this
So
show?
Skin Wars is basically
PETA and the Hunger Games.
Project Runway. It's a Project Runway rip off, but for body painting, and it's actually really fun.
It's fun to watch, yeah.
Because these people are they're insane. They're really good, and I love that it's not just they could have done just like regular canvas or whatever. But
And that's Rebecca Romaine right there.
oh, is it?
I don't know if you guys can tell. but
Jeez.
That's her.
And so
the
Rebecca
host?
remains the host, much like what's
Heidi Klum.
like Heidi Klum's the host, and I think they picked Rebecca because she was in
X-Men,
the
and
X-Men
she
She's
films.
the poor man's
Mystique.
Heidi Klum.
When you
And
can't get
she
Heidi
wore
Klum.
a lot of body paint for Mystique.
Yes, for
which was
Mystique.
That makes
Awesome.
more sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one qualification. I've had body.
No,
paint.
no.
She was a body paint
I think
model.
I think she's done body paint as modeling too. Outside of it, she or the show rather, they did 3 seasons and it's on Netflix, and I finally finished them all. I've been watching it for like a year and a half, trying to actually finish it, and it was like kind of like a background show. I don't need to watch it a ton. It is kind of cool because they switch it up a little bit relative to Project Runway in that there's 2 competitions per episode, and the pre-competition gives you advantage for the main competition. So like either you get to choose your partner or you get to choose what
it's gonna
theme
be
it's
or
not
something.
the theme, but like if the theme is like jewelry, you get to pick the first piece of jewelry to base yours off of, et cetera, et cetera. And so yeah, it's always fun. In the most recent season, my assumption is you guys aren't going to watch this, and so I'm going to spoil this for everybody. Season 3, the youngest
Contestant.
the youngest contestant's ever been on it, and
He's 20.
and he was the only male winner of the show so far, and it's only 3 seasons in, but he's very good, and he's from El Paso, Texas, and he's just a kid. And RuPaul is one of the judges for the show. So yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's like a fun background show. If you like Project Runway, you'll probably like Skin Wars. Jessica and I said watch it. And then Stranger Things. We didn't really have another place that we stuck this in. And let's see, what's the time? 3:44. We have an hour. We don't have to do the full extra hour for the show, but we have an hour. We could talk about this at the very end if you guys would like.
Yeah, do that because then I can jump out of here because I haven't watched any of it.
Sure.
so-
Got it.
We don't
okay.
wanna
Do you want
spoil
to?
it
You
for
guys
you.
want to do that?
Sure.
Let's do that.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold off on it. I watched it this week.
And none of us have finished watching.
We're
the
near
whole thing,
done.
So
Yeah, all of us.
we're
are
kind
near
of
done.
around the same
At least
episode.
half or more than halfway done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
We'll
So,
save that till the end.
Next is I think what Jessica is watching this week.
I watched The Crown on Netflix, and I really liked it. I was crying by like the 3rd episode or something, and I thought it was some really good acting. I really liked John Lithgow as Winston Churchill. I think he's doing a great job, and I think Claire Foy is also a really great actress. I really like her, and my first time seeing her in something. And then I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas because It's
'Tis the
always
season.
Yep, 'tis the season. So
I just read a tidbit of news about The Crown season 3 and 4. They're recasting the Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
I recognize the actress. It was the girl. Oops, I'm not even going to go there because I'm going to have to ask 15 questions in order to find the name. But they're recasting the actress. I don't know why, but I just read an article saying that
I think she's going
leaving.
on to do a lot of other things. She's doing the next Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, she's getting
movie,
quite popular.
So yeah.
Too
I can see
popular
why.
for TV, apparently.
Yeah.
I like that show a lot. I found it very.
Olivia Colman cast as Claire Foy's replacement.
Oh,
Yeah.
like from Doctor Who?
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
When I was watching that show, and I don't know much about British history, I kept rooting for her to do I thought eventually she was going to do the good thing for her family, because it just seemed like if you were writing a show, you'd be like, okay, she screws them over once and twice, and the third time she finally
Eventually
gets it
she's
right.
gonna- yeah.
Right.
But then she just doesn't.
Nope, because that's not the way history goes. And I always am like, yeah, white people, we suck.
I got a little frustrated with it personally.
What season are we in?
It's only been one so far. I think
Okay.
the second season's dropping soon.
Okay.
Next year sometime. It's just every episode is she's like, she wants to do a thing, and then someone's
doesn't.
like, hey, you can't do that. And she's like, okay, I won't do it.
Sounds like a good premise.
But Kevin, that sounds like real life, though. Sadly.
Yeah. No, I mean, it
I mean,
reflects.
that's how it, especially for women, that's how it's been for a long time.
Wait, also, isn't he from Doctor Who also?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's all Doctor Who
He was-
related.
Be a reunion.
I forget which
Yeah.
doctor he was, what number doctor.
But
he
the
was.
most recent one, right?
11?
10 maybe.
11.
Yeah.
11.
No, there's been a couple since.
In
I
between?
think he was my brother's favorite doctor.
He's a quirky doctor.
Yeah, I felt bad because
He's great in the show.
I only watched a little bit of Nightmare Before Christmas when Jessica was watching it. And I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I don't think I loved it. I don't think it
You don't have to.
hits the same nostalgia that it hits for other
I
people.
disagree. You have to.
Do I? Are you a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan?
I mean, yeah.
There are
I
a
don't
lot of
believe
people
you.
Who aren't. I mean, let's
I
just
am.
put it that way.
I like it a lot. I think it's a really odd piece of I don't know,
Disney history?
It's worked its way into our collective films that we loved, and it's
Sure.
really
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like a weird little thing that I can't believe made it this far.
Yeah, I
And
mean
it's fun
it is.
to just sing along the whole movie. It's just got great music and yeah. I like
You a big fan?
Yeah, I didn't watch it till I was in high school. But
Relate.
I really like it a lot. I love stop motion animation. It's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh, and then there was a natural successor to it too, right? Corpse Bride, I think.
Which is not.
It was not good.
It's not as good. I
Frank
think
and Weenie was better,
um,
and Coraline.
Coraline, which is Studio Laika,
Mm.
which they're like the only
Yeah.
studio still making stop motion movies, and they're so good.
Starburns Industries. They do a lot of stop motion. They got the Oscar a couple of years ago or Oscar nomination rather for that movie that we watched. That was it was like an adult stop motion.
Anomalisa.
Ugh, yes.
And I
I
hated
didn't know
it.
they were involved.
Yeah, that was Starburns Industries, Harmon Studio. Okay, and lastly, I think it's what. Oh no, not lastly. Sorry, it's what you're watching.
Oh, you started.
I started The Deuce based on Scott's suggestion last week.
And then you've done it too. Haven't you done
No,
the Deuce?
I haven't watched.
Okay,
I have not
okay.
done the Deuce.
Have you done the? You got
You
to
look
do
like
the
you
Deuce,
did the
dude.
Deuce.
Have you done the Deuce today, guys?
Dude. Every morning.
Every morning I
Deuce.
do.
Asher says you mentioned Coraline. Was anyone else slightly disturbed to see the near topless scene in the kids' animated
That is
Coraline?
definitely the most horrifying scene. in the
sure.
I
movie.
never saw it.
Definitely, but you should also watch Anomalisa because there's an even more horrifying scene where two
remember
claymation
Anomalisa.
people have sex and you see all their parts and it's very weird and it just turned me off to the whole movie, I gotta say.
I forgot about
Yep.
that movie. I don't know why I forgot
So
about that.
fucking
movie. I guess
weird.
I
Which
can
one?
get
I like.
Anomalisa.
We're back to a number.
Yeah,
Watch
okay,
it.
okay.
That was
But yeah, Coraline
The
also
Deuce.
has like a weird,
Yeah.
burlesque circus scene with the two old ladies, and it's really
Yeah.
weird and gross, but it's fun. Anyway, The Deuce. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying it so far. I'm 4 or 5 episodes in. A little more sex than I would care for.
But you
that's
love
what
sex.
comes with that.
It's HBO, man.
It's HBO.
And it's a show about
And it's a show about prostitution and the beginning of the porn industry.
Yep.
So it's just
it's
part
kind
of the
what you could
package.
expect. Yeah.
I think yeah, James Franco I think is doing a really good job. He's not. You hear James Franco playing twins, and you think it's like going to be over the top and ridiculous, but it does pretty
sound that
subdued.
way. Okay.
It's mainly about one twin. The other twin kind of pops up and here and there.
Okay.
I was expecting them to hook up at some point, just because it's James Franco, and
You should.
I hope they do. I'm waiting for the finale. Maybe they'll finally give us what we want.
The last thing I saw him in, other than the oh god, I just lost what it was. Oh, other than the trailer for the new film that's coming out, is a trailer for the film, like Swim Party or After Party, and he plays like this gangster guy with like
Spring Breakers. You mean
Spring Breakers? Yeah, I watched the trailer for Spring Breakers. It's like what I've heard this before. How come I never like watched a trailer? And he's got like the grill in and whatever, and he's just like sexing up every woman in that movie. Yeah. It looks awful. It looks like
I hear it's a very interesting.
I heard it got high ratings, right?
Got good reviews. Yeah.
It looks like something I would never want to watch.
I mean, I haven't seen it.
I'm not interested, but I did hear that it got good ratings actually.
But yeah, it's really good. I'm mostly rooting for Maggie Gyllenhaal's character, who plays a prostitute who doesn't have a pimp, which is like a little like scary. You know, she's gotta like watch out for herself, but she's trying to get into the porn industry a little more. And she's just so good. I love Maggie Gyllenhaal.
She's so great.
So I have a question. Like,
who's the deuce?
I don't know what the deuce is. I'm waiting for them to tell us.
Wait, is that a term?
But like
that
I've heard them talk about it in the show, like some the deuce. And then I'm like, wait, was that like a club that I wasn't aware of, or is it like?
Interesting.
I don't know what the deuce means. I think that's the point of the series. We're gonna find out.
So this is like interesting subject material to talk about. Is this something that you think anybody could watch?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Like over a certain age limit. I mean, it's
Okay.
it's somewhat graphic, and it continues the long HBO tradition of. Lots of violence against its female characters, which is troublesome. But it's in the right hands, I think. It's David Simon and one of the other writers of The Wire. So you kind of like trust them to handle it appropriately, and they do. I mean, it's pretty graphic. I don't know. It depends on your...
Do they show penis? Because
you do see...
Okay.
Penis.
That's fair.
The deuce.
That is fair.
Whenever you say...
They never show penis. So when they do, I'm like, thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm all for equal opportunity.
Yeah, and there's
penises.
There's plenty to go around.
Hugh Turn says the show takes its title from the old nickname given to the West 42nd Street.
Way to ruin
Google.
Thank you, Hugh Turn.
The suspense.
I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, like an amulet or like some sort of
a pirate treasure, pirate's booty.
Yes.
And I was listening to on NPR, Maggie Gyllenhaal was giving like a little interview about this, and she was saying, there's a lot of graphic sexual scenes, but she was like, I want people to get out of this like kind of what you got out of it, which is like that there are consequences to all the things that these people are doing, and then it's not just like, great, we're having sex all the time, it's lots of fun. Like there are lots of things that
it's a lot like Boogie Nights in that it's like you start to see it's not all just fun and games.
Right.
I guess when I was asking you the question, like, is this show for everybody? I didn't mean like
content wise.
Yeah, I mean more so content wise. Is this something that anybody would want to watch? Is it something that, like, for instance, I had friends that didn't want to watch Sons of Anarchy because they're like, I have no interest in biker gangs, which it's not.
Most people don't.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think.
And so, do you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as the content is concerned,
for the people that are like, I have no interest in pornography.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be some people definitely turned off by the premise, but I think what's exciting to me is when a show can like introduce you to a world that you don't ordinarily see or know much about. So Sons of Anarchy with biker gangs, or this with the sex business.
Will my mom like this show?
I thought of your mom, and I thought she would really, she would really like this show.
You were watching, and you specifically thought
I was thinking about
of my
mom the
mom
whole time I was watching this.
I gave her a call. I introduced myself.
You don't know me.
I'm Kevin. And
I
you're
do
Love.
improv with your son.
Hi.
I
what
was
I like
watching
to
a
do.
series.
I wish that had
You're-
knowing almost
a-
nothing
What would
about you.
what would your mom say?
My mom wouldn't. Oh God, I don't.
Do it in her best voice.
She'd be really friendly about it. She would use her friendly phone voice.
My mom would be like,
Wow.
I would never watch that.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not for me. Yeah, no.
I just imagine your mom has a strong Irish accent.
Yes. She's a strong Irish woman. My new mom.
All right, and lastly, what are you watching here this week, Jason?
I submitted my stuff. Somebody put it up there.
We did it last second.
Gosh, you guys are too nice to me. I've been a slacker these past few weeks, and I want to formally apologize to everybody for my slackerdom.
You're a busy
Things are
man.
freeing up, so I should be able to put more energy and time. And I have been watching reruns of Law and Order on the Ion channel,
Cool.
What channel?
network television. It's called the Ion Network.
Oh, Ion, yeah.
Okay.
And they just
Cable.
show Law and Order for like 36 hours in a row.
And it's
Are
good
you in hospice?
shit.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Law and Order is good shit.
It's one of those things. Law and Order is that it's like a show where I don't care. I can just turn it on and just do something else
Yep.
and somehow be entertained. I don't have to pay attention to it. I pick up the show like 50 minutes into the episode and can still somehow figure out what the heck is going on.
Because you're a genius. It's those Irish genes.
Exactly. Yes. And the most recent episode I watched had Mark Paul Gosselaar, a young Mark Paul Gosselaar, and Elizabeth Banks, and they were porn stars working in the porn industry, and they had a daughter with cystic fibrosis. And then Elizabeth Banks kills a man, but Mark Paul Gosselaar tries to. It was a whole thing. I like it for that reason too, to see like what famous people they happen to get on the show, because it's always really funny whenever they're like looking at the potential suspects, and then they'll go and it'll be like Elizabeth Banks, and she'll like the first time you see her, she's like, oh yeah, that guy, he's over there on like 87th Street. I'll give you his address, and you're like, yeah, that's the last time we're gonna see you, and then you can always kind of tell who's gonna be the murderer. Also, in Law and Order SVU. I don't know. Do you guys know Richard Belzer?
What's he?
Anyway, he's in Law and Order SVU almost exclusively, and he made a show in the '90s called Stranger Things. He made a show called When Cars Attack, which was about cars without people driving them lurching out and killing people.
Wow.
And he does all the scenes with Ice-T, and I want to know what their conversations were.
Wow.
And that's all I
love
have to
Ice-T.
say.
He's the greatest.
That's all I have to say.
Gotta
Yeah,
stop
and I gotta
this
say-
murder.
I just jumped because that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, we have some light decorations, which you didn't even mention, a la Kevin.
We had a Stranger Things
For our Stranger Things party.
viewing party last night, and Kevin did some wonderful decorating, but
one of them.
one of
Not
the
well
lights
enough.
One of the lights just fell, and I almost died. So
I now for the next 3 minutes of this show, we're going to play the theme song to Law and Order.
Boom, boom,
dun
boom,
dun
boom,
dun
boom,
dun
boom, boom,
dun 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 dun.
boom, boom. I really appreciate that. They didn't
fucking-
change that theme, that opening for like 20 years.
It's like stuck in my brain. It is like it's back there and it will never leave.
Bom, bom. It's so calm. I
hate
like
it.
It's such a calming show.
I agree.
It's like
Even though there's like murder and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff, it's fun.
My girlfriend watches Criminal Minds, and it's too intense. Law and Order's just like it's like the old like man of TV shows.
Is there a Law and Order? Is it Criminal Intent? Is that Law and Order?
Yeah.
Or is that a different show?
That's like
That's the one I liked.
Oh, the one with Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
That one got dramatic because
Yeah.
like Vincent D'Onofrio became a serial killer at some point in it.
He becomes
Yeah.
Kingpin.
And that's the. I mean, I feel like it
He's always a
betrayed
creep,
the Law and
so I can
Order,
see that.
like the feel of the show, because it was never about like. I mean, it's somewhat about the detectives, but like
it's kind of impersonal and detached a little bit.
Exactly.
Like, that's kind of the point.
And then SVU kind of wandered more into that, and then Criminal Intent just went full-throated into Vincent D'Onofrio serial killer craziness.
That's cool.
Bum bum.
All right, and so next on Screen Source, what do we usually do after this, guys? Last week's required viewing. So I recommended that we watch Channel Zero, just the first episode, and so I think 3 of us did. I think you didn't get a chance. Is
I
that
did
correct?
not. Sorry.
It is
though.
I've
a
already apologized.
sci-fi original. Apologize to me.
No need to apologize. Just
more.
watch
I
it.
need
'cause
I
it's
will
good.
tell you what I think of it though, just based on this picture.
Poster?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give a
Go ahead.
very
Give your
long-
first review.
Well, I thought initially that it could have used more color, and I couldn't understand what the characters were up to, and if they were people or bushes, and that was most. That's it. I won't make you listen to it.
So it is a sci-fi original. We're in season 2 now. I believe the second season is called No End House, and the first season is called Candle Cove. And these are based off of creepypastas, which are user-submitted scary stories to this website called Creepypasta. And so we all sat and watched the first episode of Channel Zero yesterday before we got started with our Stranger Things marathon. So what did you guys think of it?
I liked it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought you mentioned the cinematography
Yes.
for a TV show and especially a sci-fi show was like
Good.
really good.
Yeah, again, sci-fi apparently within the last several years have been doing a lot of revamping and putting out a lot of more higher production content and just well-written shows, I guess. Yeah, I really like
creepy.
the.
It was
I
really
really like the
creepy.
cinematography. It reminded me a lot. You guys disagreed with me. It reminded me a lot of Hannibal.
No.
I did not get that.
I
vibe.
thought it was more like It. To me, it was more like it felt more like a little bit of like a Stephen King type of story. It was really creepy. It scared me a lot. And yeah, I think I would recommend it.
I think I by Hannibal, I don't mean story-wise. I mean by like pacing, a little bit of the tone and a little bit of the cinematography.
Okay, I could see that maybe.
And I was wondering if you guys wouldn't mind. This would take no longer than 5 minutes. We could read the creepypasta from it. It isn't super long. It's written in the format of a what would you call it? Like an internet forum. So it's just people kind of going back and forth on a forum for it. Do you hate this idea? No? Okay.
I love it.
Love it. All right. So you guys could bring it up if you'd like, or I can pass the phone around. But again, it's written in the idea is that it's written as a forum. So Sky Shale 033 subject Candle Cove local kids show. Does anybody remember this local kids show? It was called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere. So I think it was on a local station around 71, 72. I lived in Ironton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on at a weird time, like 4 p.m.
Mike Painter, 65, reply. It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl.
Sky Shale 33. Yes. Okay. I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls, real low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll, looked like an antique that didn't belong in the body. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was WTSF though. Jaren. You want to take Jaren?
I'll take Jaren.
Jaren 2005 says.
Jaren 2005. Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what show you mean, Sky Shale. I think Candle Cove ran for only a couple months in 71, not 72. I was 12 and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was Channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughing Stock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was Calliope music constantly playing. I don't know what that is. Don't remember the girl's name. Janice or Jade or something. Think it was Janice.
Skyshale 033. Thank you, Jaron. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the Laughing Stock and Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had an awful Ed Wine voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden/plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that talked.
Mike Painter, haha, I remember now too. I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Skyshale? You have to go inside.
Skyshale. Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's when the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was. And the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside. With his two eyes askew and that flopping foam jaw and the fishing line that opened and closed it. It just looks so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above really tall, narrow teeth.
Kevin Hart. I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare fuel.
Jaron?
That wasn't the villain. The puppet with the mustache, that was the villain's sidekick. Horace Horrible. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of the mustache. I used to think that meant he only had one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette. The skin taker. I can't believe what they let us watch back then.
Kevin Hart. Jesus H. Christ, the Skin Taker. What kind of a kid show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes were too big for his skull. Christ almighty.
Skyshale. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin?
Mike Painter 65. Yeah, I think so. Remember his...
Get on that mic.
Yes, yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close. His jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the Skin Taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera and said, "To grind your skin."
Ugh.
Skyshale. I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had when where the opening jingle ended, that the show faded in from black and all the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each other's faces and they were just screaming, and the pirates and marionettes were flailing spastically and just all screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it.
Kevin Hart. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode.
Skyshale. No, not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally just standing in place, crying and screaming for the whole show.
Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you said that, but I swear to God, I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed.
Oh God, yes, the little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake and the Skin Taker screaming through his gnashing teeth, his jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on.
Mike Painter.
Mike Painter 65. I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s when I was 8 or 9, and if she remembered the kids show Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why, and she said, because I used to think it was so strange that you said, "I'm gonna go watch Candle Cove now, Mom," and then you would tune the TV to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination with your little pirate show.
And that is Candle Cove.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Static.
Okay. So that's interesting to read that and
then watch the show. Yeah, and watch the show.
It's
Yeah.
like they add obviously a lot more to it. Like there was
Right.
a bunch of kids that went missing and were murdered at the same time that the show was airing.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to do an entire season based off of this, like, no longer than 600 page?
It's such a scary idea though that like all these kids were seeing the same thing and they were the only ones that could see it and it was just static that they were watching, but
Yeah, I love
they
it.
actually saw this show.
It's like a simple premise for like a scary story, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then and then I was like, and then I found out that they did a sci-fi show, or they were going to, and I just never got the chance to watch it. I don't know why, and so I'm glad we did. So, do we like it? Do we? Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue
Is
watching.
this the skin guy?
It's the tooth guy.
That guy is made of teeth.
He takes
Yes.
their teeth.
They obviously take a ton of liberties on the story, and they just expanded that universe.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you like it. And so for this upcoming week, Jason, I think, is choosing our next show.
I
So what'd you choose for us?
feel bad that I have not been watching the last 2 weeks of movies. So I have an idea of what we can potentially watch. This is yes. Let's all watch Free for All.
I love that blind.
I wanted to open it up to you guys to see if there's anything. I don't know how to do this. I have something we could watch, but I also don't want to just
Kevin and I have an idea already.
Okay. Cool.
Also, I honestly thought you wanted to watch the 1949 film Free for All, and I was like, "What the fuck is Jason making us watch?" I was like looking through
Zazzle,
it.
you either got it or you ain't. It's fun for
Zazzle.
everybody.
Is that
Can we
what we're
please
watching?
watch this?
I mean, we can.
Zazzle. I'm gonna start saying
I
that.
honestly-
Try
Zazzle.
to track down Free for All and see if I can
Is it
send you a
streaming
link.
anywhere?
I'll
For
see if
some
can
reason,
find
I
it.
think it's a public domain. I think when I looked it
sure
up, I don't
probably
know.
is.
But anyways, Kevin and I. So I'm glad that you're not making us watch this. But Kevin and I thought maybe because it's a big, it's a movie that we all probably want to see. Maybe we should just go watch Thor.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was thinking, on weeks where there's a really big release, maybe
We go
the
see
required
that.
viewing is just watch the big thing, and then
Sure.
we'll pick up in the rotation the next week.
Yeah.
Cool. I
Like
think
when
that's a
Star
great
Wars
idea.
comes out, we should probably all go watch Star Wars.
No.
Yes, Jason, you will do it.
We
will force you. We will tie you up, and we will take you.
Laura
Forcibly.
Dern's in it.
Okay, I'll see it.
And on top of that, maybe we should watch Free for All.
If you get around to Free for All,
I mean,
at
if
the
I
end
have
we'll do a
some free
spoiler
time.
review.
Let's
I'm gonna
just
do
have
some
Jason watch
Okay,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you a report, an oral book
Report.
movie report on Free for All.
I want a
And
diorama.
I really want to bring back Zazzle. I don't know what that slang means, but there's an exclamation mark after it.
Robert Cummings and Anne
Fun
Blythe.
for everybody.
Oh wow,
Yeah, this is great.
looks great.
Okay, cool. So we're all gonna watch Thor
Somebody's wearing
Ragnarok,
a-
and then make sure you tune in next week, and we're gonna give you some
Juicy
probably spoiler
tidbits.
review of how that movie did. And my guess is that it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Scott says we better watch this.
We better
Free
watch
for all. I think
And
he's
he
talking
also-
about free for all.
That's the daughter from Mildred Pierce. I knew it. Sorry.
He also references executive producer Dick Wolf, which is at the very end of every Law and Order episode. It just ends with executive producer Dick Wolf.
He has a good name.
Yeah.
It's a strong
All
name.
right, and I think up next what we have is game time. So we first start off with our gaming session with a question from Bon. And so Bon, our god today, our producer, how you doing?
Hi, Bon.
Oh, it's
Bon.
Mopey Bon.
I'm a little sorry, I'm a little confused right now. Trying to get this to work. I think the camera turned off.
Aw, that's sad. That's okay. We could just use your audio, but so long as we have you unmuted on the real tech.
I think we're good. We're good.
Okay, cool, cool,
Definitely Unmuted.
These are good.
So what's going on,
All
Bon?
right.
What's our question for this week?
All right. I had a question like 2 seconds ago and I completely forgot about it. If you were to adapt a movie into a game, what would it be?
Adapt a movie
Into a game.
Or
into
TV
a
show.
game. Can we? Okay.
PC or console game or something like that?
How about a board game even?
Even a board game,
Even
yeah.
a board game.
You mean like we could make a movie into a board game?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
that'd
would
be
What would
fun.
you want to see?
Oh,
I would want a mobile game, like on your cell phone version. of
Stranger
Great
Things.
British Bake Off.
Great Britain. I guarantee it exists.
I would want that for Project Runway, but I feel like that already exists too. But that's what I'm gonna say. Computer game or a video game where you could like, I don't know, do something with designing and competing with other people.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Or like you can
Yeah.
do the little technical challenge.
Uh-huh.
Baking.
Yeah.
You have to make the whatever. It'd be fun.
You have to put the right ingredients.
I'm not a big gamer.
I've never seen this show, but I would like to see a board game for The Deuce, where every time you pass go, you get 200 deuces. I just feel like
stinky.
it's promising. It's pretty hot right now. The Deuce is big. I'm not sure what the Deuce is. I think Scott said it's a street.
It's a street
of some sort.
Like the street where they would
have
which sounds like Mad
sex.
Men, right?
Lots of
Madison
sex.
Avenue. Same idea as far as title premise. So yeah, that's my choice. You have anything, Jason?
There's some obvious ones. I feel like I've had this. I've thought of something better than this before, but there's obviously like be really fun to play. Like, I mean, is this already a thing? Is there a Game of Thrones
Yeah.
video
There's
game?
one right behind
There's
you.
a board game,
There's a board game. Is there a
Yeah.
video game like a
I don't know.
Yeah.
Skyrim style
but
board?
that'd be fun.
There's actually
Like
it's the as far as I can remember, like the big one is it's a Telltale game. So the idea is like it's story based. Telltale games are very story based, and you choose like A, B, C, or D. Like what answer do you want to give him, and then that will determine your way. It's kind of like those books. What are they called? Choose your own path books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That or like is maybe like an Adventure Time, but that might already be a thing too. Like,
That'd be fun.
like a big like Skyrim style like world, but with like Adventure
that would be
Time.
pretty
That would be
cool.
pretty cool.
I would want to also do Labyrinth because there's a
that'd be-
labyrinth, and then
yeah.
that would be a cool board game to just try and get through the labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a new game that came out recently called Cuphead within the last 3 weeks, and it's got this 1920s cartoon style to it. It's very cool, very popular right now. It's an indie game. I'd like to see like an over the garden wall of that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
I
a lot of fun.
I saw last night at the event I was at, there was a Greg and a Wirt
I
couple.
know who they are. Yeah, I know the
Aw,
girl.
man.
I got really excited.
It was so cool.
I'm
Their costumes
jealous.
were really good. She like painted a little teapot silver. It was great.
What? Yeah.
I think I remember. This is a sidetrack, but I remember one of my favorite moments on the show is when in the episode where Greg's having the dream and he goes to the Cloud City, and there's the reception committee, and then there's the second reception committee, and then there's like the third reception.
Awesome.
It's great.
Good question, Bon. Thank you. I don't know if you have an answer. Or should we just move on to our next game?
Let's move on.
Okay, cool. So our next game, it's normally what we've been playing for the last several weeks is Last Actor Standing. And so Jessica and I decided to switch it up. We're like, what if we do a Last Franchise Standing?
Yes.
Which again, this is the premise for this a podcast that I listen to regularly where it's like, it's called We Got This with two comedians, LA-based comedians, and they basically do like ice cream sandwiches or popsicles. They do sandwiches, or it's not just food, but one of the ones that they did was Best Trilogy, which was a really fun episode with Nathan Fillion. And so it was kind of based off that a little bit. And I was like, let's try franchise. So this is 4 of the highest grossing franchises of all time. I'm assuming you guys can choose which ones those are. That'll be Marvel, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings. And then I decided to choose 2 other ones because I think following that was like Fast and Furious. We all would have gotten rid of that too quickly.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the other franchise was, but I was like, meh, let's put Toy Story and Back to the Future in there because those have some, we love those, I think.
This is
Can I
really
ask a
interesting.
question?
Sure.
When you eliminate one, does that also eliminate
Yes.
the
Spin-offs.
not the spin-offs, but like the source material? So if you like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, does that mean the books are gone
Yep.
too?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I feel like that's
don't
higher
wanna do
stakes.
that.
Higher stakes, though, right?
I say let's leave the source material. No.
No, it's higher stakes to get rid of it.
No, because then you'd have to like anything that goes with Star Wars is immediately you have,
Gone.
like the animated universe too, which is part of the
Yeah,
series.
no.
Yeah,
let's
but that.
keep-
It's like the whole
The
universe.
whole thing is gone.
It's
Yeah.
all of it's gone.
All of it's gone.
Do you?
Okay,
So you
well,
guys
I
want to
will
do
fight to the
last universe standing or last franchise? Universe or franchise? I feel like universe is higher
Universe.
stakes. Universe.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Fine.
Last universe standing. Bond, would you like to be a part of this game?
I'm all down for this one.
Okay. Can
I
you?
know my choice.
Let's have you do the first choice for us. Why don't you eliminate one for us?
eliminate the first one.
And then I feel like you two have chosen the last franchises for the last several times. So how about I'll let Jason
Jason
choose the
will
last
choose.
last
Okay.
one because there's just enough numbers that it'll
Okay.
Okay.
dwindle down. So Bond, what's the first franchise that you're going to eliminate from this list?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. All
This is
right.
interesting.
Yeah, I would have.
Because
Fair.
my first.
I- what I think about in this game is like also like 'cause a lot of these franchises have like been a part of like the culture, like
Yeah.
have really sparked a culture for their time period that they came out. So it's interesting.
And some of them, like, yeah, obviously more so than others, but also too, some of them are kind of stuck in a time period. And Back to the Future, obviously, like for Gen Xers, is an enormous franchise, but it hasn't spanned generations.
Yeah.
I don't think like Marvel has, or Lord of the Rings, for instance. So, anyways, Back to the Future's gone. Let's have you choose next.
Okay, I think I'm gonna choose.
Be strategic here. I know what you're rooting for.
No, I know.
Oh, I don't know what he's rooting for.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm an idiot. He threw a party. He looks like one of them.
I'm gonna go. Okay, hold on.
Just choose it, because I'm gonna end up choosing
I'm gonna
it.
do Marvel.
You're gonna do Marvel?
I'm gonna get rid of that one.
Ah, man. Okay. All right.
I would too.
Okay.
I mean, they're fun. They're good.
No.
I don't really feel like there's a
They're
lot
not my
of.
favorite.
You
though.
got rid of all Marvel comics, all Marvel.
It's all
Generations, years, almost 100 years of comics.
gone. It's gone.
Bye.
That's great.
Bye.
That's what makes this game fun. Jessica, you choose next.
Toy Story.
Getting rid of Toy Story.
Sorry, I love Toy Story, but I love the other things more.
Okay. So we have Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Star Wars left. I am going to get rid of. I feel like you guys know. Do you
Lord of
guys
the
know me
Rings.
well
You're
enough?
gonna get rid of Lord of the Rings.
I'm getting rid of Lord of the Rings. I just don't care about it as
Well,
much as most people.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
a unique conundrum I find myself in here.
Oh, gee. I wonder what you're gonna choose, Jason.
Well, here's the thing about Star Wars.
U-turn says,
I care
"Get rid
about
of the
Harry
rings."
Potter. I'm not. I've read all the books and I've seen all the movies, and maybe not. I don't throw myself birthday parties Harry Potter themed, but I do very much appreciate it more than Star Wars. But the thing about Star Wars is, I feel like I don't know,
Sci-fi.
like it
Sci-fi.
inspired so many other things. Like I don't know if we'd have like Spielberg or like it'd be interesting.
Without Star Wars, we wouldn't have Star Trek.
That's not true.
I know. I just wanted to piss people off.
But because I'm sitting next to Kevin, I don't want him to murder me. I'll get rid of Star Wars.
Thank you.
Oh, you did it. Wow.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I'm very surprised. If I would have chosen to get rid of Harry Potter, would you have chosen Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
I would have probably chosen. Lord of the Rings.
To get rid of?
I like Lord of the Rings more, but I think Star Wars is more of a.
Damn, I
It's
should have
like
got rid of Harry Potter. Okay, so can we all just choose our favorites real fast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Harry Potter. What do you guys
Star
think?
Wars.
Star Wars.
Probably Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And for me, I guess Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings would have been a close second, but I really like both of those. So
I'm gonna say, yeah, it's probably. Oh God, that's fucking hard. Marvel. There's just too much content. It's like never ending.
but is it your favorite though?
Of those, I mean, like, if I had to choose a favorite movie amongst all those, it'd be Toy Story Episode 1, or the first Toy Story, honestly.
Aw.
But franchise-wise, it's Star Wars and Marvel. It's just I really like those animated series, obviously.
Yeah, we know.
And I've read all the Harry Potter books. I just don't love the movies as much as I like the books.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
what
feel
I was
like-
asking. If it was just the movies, then
Right.
I would be fine getting rid of the movies.
Right?
As long as we get to keep the books and Harry Potter world.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And Harry Potter. Oh, that's true. Would have got rid of Harry Potter World. How funny. All right, Harry Potter is the winner of Last Franchise Standing. Good job. You got what you wanted.
I know, I always do.
Okay, fun game. Okay, and I think we're into our last segment, which is trailers. So during trailers, we're going to watch a handful of them, and the idea is that all of us will then vote after we watch the trailer whether or not we want to watch that as soon as it comes out, rent it, wait a little bit, or skip it completely. If it's something like Netflix, it'll be the watch will be the equivalent of watch it right away. Rent it's in my queue, and skip is I'm not gonna watch that, and that's out of here. So we got a lot of good trailers this week actually.
Cool.
And we're going to start with a show that actually our producer worked on. How long did you work on this, Bon? Sorry to make it. Yeah.
I worked on it for about 6 months.
6 months of Godless. Very cool, very cool. So I'm excited. It's a Netflix original, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
We
before.
have.
I brought it up. because
Okay.
I'm really excited about it.
Let's do it. Let's
Yay.
watch this trailer for Godless.
Christ is the power in my
There's 83 good men
I love it.
is the power.
gone in less than 5 minutes. 'Tis a fearful thing to love what death can touch.
Where are all the men at?
Good. Mom took them. All of them.
How has the town fared without any men around?
Someone's got to look after things around here.
A town full of ladies. Bang, bang. It's ripe fruit for the wicked. Bang,
bang. Frank Griffin's been looking for Roy Good.
He's gonna kill anyone that Roy Good loves or cares about.
The good people of Creed let them walk their streets. Now they don't have no streets.
When he finds out who's living here,
God help you folks.
Mister, we're a lot fucking stronger than you think we are.
There's something I gotta finish. I'm bad luck.
We have that in common then.
This here's the land of the blade and the rough. It's godless country.
To shoot you down.
Let's all talk about this like civilized folks.
Sure, come on in.
I suggest we all first lower our weapons.
That's good.
That looks badass. I'm in.
How many episodes do you think that's going to be?
Between 8 and 10, maybe? I don't know.
Limited series, it says.
Bond, do you know? Does Bond know? Bond? How many?
I don't know if I can legally answer that.
Okay.
Cool. NDAs.
Top
very
I'll
secret.
watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I love Michelle Docker.
So do I. She was great.
I think it's a great tagline, No Man's Land.
Yeah.
That
it's
I
really
mean
great.
that's just perfect. It's perfectly made
She
for
was
it.
great in Downton Abbey, so I'm in.
Very cool.
Two of my students are twin boys that are supposed to play Jeff Daniels' children, but they're the most spastic children I've ever met, and they
Were
they
too spastic?
got fired.
Yep.
Whoa, jeez, poor kids.
Poor
think I met
spastic
them.
children.
You know what I'm talking about.
I was babysitting.
They're great. They're very nice, but they're 6.
All right, the next trailer we're gonna watch is the. Can you read that?
Blade Runner.
The Breadwinner.
Breadwinner.
When I was young, Padawana, I knew what peace felt like. Stories remain in our hearts even when all else is gone. Padawana, were you listening at all?
Yes, Boba.
Why is this girl not at home? She should cover herself properly.
Maybe you should stop looking at her.
I can have you killed!
I think business will pick up.
If there are women present, cover yourselves now!
Where is he being taken?
To prison.
Boba! It will be all right.
My family is in a desperate situation.
Sorry, child.
Girl! Stop when I tell you!
You're Parwana! Shasya? When you're a boy, you can go anywhere you like. I'm going to find Boba.
No, you're not.
I'm going. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
Maybe if we think of it like a story, huh?
Is it a happy story or a sad story? Just wait and see.
Okay, that looked really sad, but I think I would watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch Song of the Sea, but it was definitely high praise.
One of our friends recommended it really highly to us.
Yes. What I'm most excited about for this is for people to finally kind of come around and realize that that animation is not just for children.
No.
I feel like that is a very common misconception.
Sure.
And obviously this is not made for kids. Actually, it may not. It may be made for.
It could be for kids.
It could.
Kids could watch it.
Yeah.
But I think it could also be for adults.
I wonder what the rating is on this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Persepolis. Was that from several years ago? Which is a great movie.
Cool.
What's Persepolis about?
It's an animated movie based on a graphic novel. It's about a young girl who lived in Iran. And I think it's just like her experience growing up under like this very oppressive regime. She is very like outspoken kid, and so she starts to get in trouble, and her family sends her to France for a while.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And just like as she ages, and just kind of like having a little bit of an identity crisis of not knowing where she belongs. It's really good.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to tackle a lot of topips.
Seems similar to Mulan in that she decides to, dress as a man so she can go look for
Oriental.
Yeah, Oriental. Yeah, so it looks cool than that.
The Hesher asks, in response to two of your students, forgive me for this is off topic. It's not. What do you teach?
Acting.
Acting. Yeah.
I have to jump out of here really quick. Can I make a request though?
Sure.
Can we watch the Phantom Thread trailer before?
Yeah, I think that's
we jump
towards
ahead?
the end there. So let's watch that, and then you can take off.
Cool.
You can sew almost anything into the canvas of a coat. When I was a boy, I started to hide things in the linings of the garments. Things that only I knew were there. Secrets.
Good morning.
Will you have dinner with me?
Yes.
I feel as if I've been looking for you for a very long time. You look beautiful. Very beautiful. I have things I want to do. Things I simply cannot do without you.
Reynolds has made my dreams come true, and I have given him what he desires most in return. Every piece of me. Why are you not married?
Her arrival has cast a very long shadow.
She's barely looked at you this evening, has she?
May I warn you of something? My brother can feel cursed, that love is doomed for him.
I don't like the fabric.
Maybe one day you'll change your taste.
Maybe I like my own taste.
Just enough to get you into trouble.
Perhaps I'm looking for trouble.
Stop! There is an air of quiet death in this house.
You're not cursed, you're loved by me. Stop playing this game.
What game? What precisely is the nature of my game?
All your rules and your clothes and all this money and everything is a game.
This was an ambush.
Stop.
Are you sent here to ruin my evening and possibly my entire life?
Stop it! Whatever you do it carefully.
It's gorgeous. And it's a sweet name for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I think he might be, I don't know if I can say my favorite director, but I think
he's up there.
He's a living master.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so this is really interesting. Plus Daniel Day-Lewis in his not playing just.
That was crazy. Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yes.
It said his name.
I missed that. That didn't. Oh my god! I feel like he just changes, he morphs into whatever. Like when he was Abe Lincoln. Yeah. Jesus Christ, this guy.
This is probably like the closest to what Daniel Day-Lewis is actually like.
Okay.
Because he's British, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's actually British.
And it's about a designer, right?
Yeah, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was getting some strong Vertigo vibes from this trailer, which is interesting.
This looks like it would be something based off of like a play or maybe even a book.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about what the source material is for this. I mean, yeah, but
Looks good.
That's
It looks really good. I'm in.
Yeah, am I gonna rent it or am I gonna watch it? I'm gonna go rent unless I hear otherwise. Yeah.
You'll get good reviews.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna watch.
I have a movie pass now, so I'm just gonna go watch it.
Watch
Christmas.
everything.
Got my Christmas movie.
All right, thank you, Jason.
All right, thanks, guys. Fun show. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Bon.
Great. And we have a handful more trailers here. What do we have that third one or that second one there? Stop. Yeah, I think it's only like a minute something. Okay, so a stop motion animated. I think it's a sequel and to something, and it's called Junkhead.
Huh.
Junkhead?
And it's very small, like indie. This makes me wonder if it's going to be, if there's going to be any dialogue. Kevin's into this. It is cool looking. Oh, that first person.
That monster kind of looked like a Demogorgon.
Yeah, it does.
U-Turn says it looks like a Tool video. It does kind of look like a Tool video.
Yeah, it does.
Like a music video, you mean?
Hey, Scott, why don't you come out here?
I'm intrigued.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, Junkhead. Is that the first? Is a sequel to the stop motion? Junkhead 2 is the sequel to the stop motion animated film Junkhead 1, and I don't know what we just watched. It says feature film trailer. It could have been for the first one. I'm not entirely
Maybe
sure.
it's a short film and now this is the feature.
But it's on Indiegogo.
Hmm.
It raised $16,000.
Hmm.
So I don't know much about this. I just found out that it was. Did you just hear me 20 seconds later?
There's a delay.
All right, let's welcome Scott to finish off the show with us because we're going to talk about Stranger Things in a second.
That's right.
Also, just real quick, Junkhead is a 30-minute short film.
30-minute short film. Okay.
Cool. Right here.
And I just came upon it. I think Nerdist posted about it. They're like, "This is a really cool little short film. You guys should watch it." It's got like 600 views. So there's not much going on.
So it's available now. We can see it now.
I think the first one. I think the second one might still be in Indiegogo. I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, keep an eye out for it though. It looks cool.
I love stop motion animation.
Yeah.
The creepier the better.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
And that's creepy.
Yeah, it looked really creepy.
And it's
it
so
gave
easy
me
to-
very like Dark Crystal vibes, you know, like even though Dark Crystal's puppets, but it's like so creepy and you're just like, ooh, that looks awesome.
This is like specifically tailored to me, I feel.
All right, next is The Commander.
The
Or The
Commuter.
Commuter. Jeez. Can't read
The
anything
Commuter in
He
Chief.
needs glasses, guys.
And we're done.
I've seen this one on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us ride this train every day.
Saw what on an airplane?
This
basic-
trailer?
Liam Neeson on an airplane. It was a movie that came out a few years ago.
How much do we really know about each other?
I don't know if it's the same thing.
Now he's on a
Now
train.
he's on a train.
It's my first time on a
And if you have my daughter.
Sorry, have we met?
Oh, I did watch the trailer.
Michael.
What if I asked you to do something that could profoundly affect an individual on this train?
I don't understand.
It's just one little thing. Someone on this train does not belong. All you have to do is find them.
Why would I do it?
In the
Jonathan
bathroom,
Banks.
there's $75,000.
What'd you say, Bond? I couldn't hear
The
you.
money is yours if You
I
do
feel
this one
like
little
the next
thing.
movie is going to be him at sea doing the same thing.
He'll be on
He's on a
boat now.
cruise ship.
Yes.
It'll be like the Speed franchise.
What kind of person are you?
What's his name did this too? He was like
Michael?
what's his name? He was a drunk pilot, and then he was
Denzel.
Denzel Washington.
and then he did
yeah.
a train conductor the next movie.
What did
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
Side. Southeast corner.
Oh my God.
Don't make me hurt someone.
Was that Mike?
They killed Mike.
Yeah, they killed Mike.
No, they killed Mike.
He has the
I'm not
worst
watching
luck
this
in
one.
things.
There's a witness. He was in deep with the wrong kind of people.
If I identify him, someone in this train's gonna kill him.
Liam Neeson on a phone, man. It's gold.
Yeah, kick his ass, Liam.
You have no idea who you're up against.
I'm done playing games.
I will find you.
I will fight you, and I will hunt you down.
Everyone dies.
I'm not gonna let them hurt you.
Oh!
What?
There's another train. There's two trains.
Oh, it's another train.
It's another train.
Take him out.
Always a bigger thing.
Oh, it's a bigger train. That's right.
I asked you to do one little thing.
You couldn't even do that.
The Train and the Furious.
Yeah.
You know what this looks a lot like?
Huh.
Phone Booth. Anybody watch that?
Oh, I have.
Was that
With
Phone
Johnny?
Colin-
No, it was
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell,
Very
and he
good
was
movie.
like,
Or like
yeah,
Red
yeah.
Eye. That movie was good too.
Had to stay. Do we have to explain what a phone booth is to the kids?
Oh, we might.
I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna say skip. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of Liam Neeson's like high energy.
You never saw
action
Taken?
ones.
The first one?
No, I never saw
No?
Taken.
It's
I-
actually that's fun. I mean, that's what started all this. like,
Sure, sure.
Fighting wolves and whatever.
I'm gonna rent.
You rent?
I'm gonna probably skip.
All right. Okay. Next film. It's a Godzilla animated series.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're it's Mudbound. Mudbound first.
This is part and parcel of country life. I learned how to stitch up a bleeding
Watch
wound,
movies with us.
load and
Movie
fire a
trailers.
shotgun.
They're
My
like
hands
short
did these
movies.
things, but I was never easy in my mind.
Way down in the water.
I held his heartbeat in my
Treme.
hand.
Way down in the hole.
All that time he was gone, I only prayed for him.
Over there, I was a liberator. People lined up in the streets waiting for us. Sometimes I actually miss it. Yeah, me too.
I'm coming back from the fire.
You the one
The
always
rare
talk
strike we
about
densely
holding
packed
our
on
own
the
power,
American
the
South.
only way to get up from under their foot.
Crawling back from the side.
I don't want you working for them.
Roots,
I
right?
won't be working for them. I'll
Is
be
Roots?
working for us.
Is this Roots?
It looks like it.
Part 2.
Part 2. More Roots.
Finally hadn't changed a bit. I don't know what they let you do over there.
It doesn't look as good as Roots.
You use the
Dang, Mike's in everything, man.
Jamie saw in a different way, and when his eyes were on me, I felt like I was no longer
Channing
invisible.
Tatum rip off.
You're sniffing after him. Maybe Henry is too thick to notice.
There he is, Jonathan Banks. All
You
right.
better open your eyes, big brother. You're so busy worrying about yourself and your farm, you can't even see your own wife is miserable.
Hard to imagine a better film this year.
I used to walking away from the fight. I no more. His land that never would be theirs.
You don't need to go, Jamie.
I can't stay here. They worked until they sweated.
You'll be okay.
They sweated until they bled. They bled
Is
until
that
they
Mary J. Blige? I think it's Mary J. Blige.
Wow.
Didn't know she was an actress.
A lot of slapping.
That would never be theirs.
Yeah.
So this looks interesting because it.
When I think of
Oh,
the
it's a
farm, I
Netflix.
think of
Yeah.
you. I dreamed in brown.
Way down in
It's heavy.
Movie? This looks like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It
Mudbound.
Carey
kind of looks
Mulligan.
a little
I like her.
bit like a war film and a slavery film kind of built into one, no?
It seems to be like maybe just after World War II and a lot of the soldiers were coming home.
Yeah.
And this is just like the Jim Crow era in the South.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting.
Interesting.
It looks very interesting.
It's heavy,
I
yeah.
don't know. I'm gonna wait and see what people are saying about it before, but I'd probably rent.
The Hesher says, I cannot not see him as Mike anymore. Yeah.
I know, right?
Sure.
You
He's
get into
just
a role
like
like
Mike
that.
Ehrmantraut.
Yeah,
He will forever
yeah.
be Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hit by a bus in this one. Jesus.
Yeah. Also, I'll say Rent. Also, it'll go in my queue.
But I think I want to. This intrigued me. I'll probably wait and see what the reviews
Yeah,
are too. But
I think
I'm
I'll wait.
interested.
Yeah. Rent.
Wait.
Okay. Very cool. This is a Godzilla animated feature. I think this is the second trailer.
Are there subtitles?
I don't think so, because I don't think there's an American trailer for it yet.
Blah 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 Godzilla.
Well, yeah,
Blah, blah,
we should just do the
Godzilla.
voiceover for it. You forgot to buy toilet paper.
Okay, guys, Godzilla's coming back. I know, Godzilla. He's coming back. We got to get ready this time. Do we have tanks? Ah.
The animation looks really
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
beautiful, yeah. Wow.
It's time to cancel. Annihilation.
Yeah.
In a world.
Damn. He looks badass.
That caught me off guard.
Oh no. Now the J-pop.
Oh, yeah.
White outside. There are no other trailers where it just shows the name of the artist and the song.
No, that's very
Hey,
unique.
there's more like dragon-y thingies.
There's more than one Godzilla?
But these look like dragons.
Well, Godzilla's got to have like friends.
Damn, he's
or
like
a
super
mother.
buff.
They're all from Monster Island, man.
That's like
Yeah.
the buffest Godzilla I've ever seen, guys. He's
saddest
he's
thing-
jacked. Like he's been drinking a lot of
They're
protein shakes.
There's some
He looks
jacked-
very good for his age.
Yeah, that's jacked. A jacked Godzilla for his age. The saddest thing, I
does
I
CrossFit.
didn't watch last year's Godzilla. So sad about it.
Bryan Cranston.
No. That was
The
that was
Japanese
years ago.
version.
There's a Japanese
the
version
new
that came out last
Japanese
year.
version.
Oh, okay.
That a lot of people were saying like it reminded them of old Godzilla,
Ah.
and I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Interesting.
So we should watch that because I grew up with the original Godzilla
monster, yeah.
movies. You know,
So good.
Godzilla versus Mothra and all those cool movies.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Did we? No, I think we watched a riff tracks of a Godzilla one also too.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That'd be
We watched just the Mothra one. I
Mothra
think.
one. That was fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, what else do we got here? We have Bitch official trailer. I think we only got 2 more trailers, so hang in.
All right.
I'm so tired, Bill. You don't understand. I don't know. Can we keep it together? Okay, stop. Mom, can we go in this century, please?
Honey, we thought you'd be home. I postponed dinner as long as I could. There's a dog watching me. Mom?
Is Jill with you?
No, why?
She's gone. Can you help me?
We found Mom.
Where is she?
I like all these actors.
Someone tell me what is going on right now.
We have to show you.
Oh my God.
Jill? Why isn't she answering?
It's kind of hard to explain.
Is there a medical term for this condition?
Behaving like a dog.
Is it the barking?
We're late.
Please, guys, I just need a minute of silence.
I don't have any underwear or socks on.
Pick my kids up.
Vicious
What are the names
feminist
of your kids'
satire.
schools? I don't know. Can you Google it?
What a cast.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Listen, got a little situation. She has no lunch.
There's actually a grocery store right down the street.
She has no lunch. She has no lunch. Dr. Lindenwell, will you possibly come over here and look at my wife?
She needs comprehensive psychiatric care.
She's not going to a mental institution.
We don't have any food left. We're so hungry. We're gonna be homeless and we're gonna get diseases and die.
This is a very bad time for me.
What is going on with your wife?
I have to be at work 18 hours a day.
Are you okay?
Oh, me? Yeah, of course. Fabulous.
She's gonna act like a dog this whole movie.
Wow.
The life you're supposed to be living.
This is the life that I'm supposed to live? This is what it was all supposed to be. This is part of the big plan.
Wow, that's great.
The producer's last movie was good dick.
Yeah.
She is in the basement. Little door on your right. Bring a chew toy.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Holy crap.
I'm intrigued.
I want to see that.
It's not the trailer I was expecting.
Yeah. I'm gonna rent it. I'm gonna rent it for sure.
Yeah.
At least rent.
Yeah, at least a rent. It just looks so fun. And
Yeah.
what's his name? Jason Ritter.
Ritter.
Ritter. He's great in Parenthood and in he's in another show too. I really liked him in. Cool. All right, and last trailer of the day, Marvel's Runaways, a Hulu original.
Hey, Nico. I've been wanting to talk to you all day. I wanted to get everybody back together. And I know that it can't be like it was. The truth, I miss you guys.
I could build a big machine.
I hope you're right about this not being a big deal.
The last thing they're interested in is what their parents are doing.
You gonna let us in?
Who are they? Why is my mom's purse here?
What kind of charity meeting is this?
Is that Terry Crews?
None of our parents are who we thought. Something really weird is going on.
I have so many questions.
No matter what we are, we can't let our parents keep getting away with this stuff.
We cannot let anyone undermine what we're doing.
Looks like
Spike.
That was
We're
Spike.
gonna need another sacrifice.
All right.
Hey, and he's
These kids are living on borrowed time.
We have to stop this. No one else will.
Jurassic Park?
And there's a dinosaur. Cool. Okay. All right.
What is that?
I'll shut out what's destructed around you. Look at me, yeah, I'm a...
Wow, that's soon.
So they're like new X-Men, right? They're mutants?
It's not. I don't think it's a part of the X-Men.
Can they not
universe.
say X-Men for legal purposes?
No. I think it's a different series.
Okay.
I think the Runaways in the top left corner there is the comic book series.
Okay.
It's just another Marvel comic book series. So, yeah, I'm almost positive. I remember hearing about this like last year.
Okay.
And it's finally coming out. I did not know it was going to be on Hulu. It looks like CW quality production.
Kind of, yeah.
It doesn't look high quality, but
when you get a bunch of like tweens or teenagers in a show and they're all like coming of age, yeah, you kind of think CW or the WB for you old people out there.
You would, but like Stranger Things has tweens technically, and it's wonderful. So.
And speaking,
but they're not pretty like that. That's the delineation.
They're a bit younger too.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna not like model worthy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say watch against all of my inner inhibitions. Only because I want to check out the first episode and just see how bad or good it is.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip, even with James Marsters in the mix.
That's true.
I'm gonna skip.
And a dinosaur.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
There is a dinosaur running around. We got to see what that's about,
that's
guys.
Like definitely my reason for skipping is there's a freaking dinosaur. Why?
Right.
I'm sorry. Why?
Kids love dinosaurs.
So let's talk for 5 minutes on Stranger Things.
Sure.
Yeah.
So initial thoughts. Stranger Things season 2.
I've been really enjoying it so far. Hold on, I have to like really.
Yeah. Let's recalibrate our brains here. So Stranger Things season 2 came out this past Friday, and it is a continuation of what's going on with Elle. What do we know about what's happening with the government in here?
Government.
I will say, like, first initial thoughts. And most of us have watched more than half of it, so we have not finished. It will be spoiler review for half the season. The first season was very intimate. It was very close. It was very small. small group of people, small town mentality. It was these problems that were bigger than them, but it still felt small. I feel the exact opposite this season. That I think that's the biggest change that we're seeing, is that everything's big now and everything's growing. The gang isn't just the gang of 5 anymore. There's now kind of a 6th. We have more monsters. We have bigger monsters. We have more government. It's just everything seems much larger. And so in that way, I don't know if that is detrimental. I feel like it might be.
I don't think they could have just done the same thing for another season. I think they're really embracing the sequel mentality of more and bigger.
And in that first episode, you realize how many things are going to be going on. And
there's like 7 plots.
And each episode feels really substantial.
Yes.
Like they seem like long episodes, even though they're the same
45 minutes.
As The Deuce or other hour-long dramas like that. And everyone has a little bit more to do. Is it Dustin, the kid with the?
He finds the little.
Yeah, him. Like he has kind of his own little plot away from the group. Kind of. Mike is kind of a muted character in a way. He's not much like you kind of do. I don't know. At least I did that. He was the leader
in the first season, and now he's kind of on the sideline.
Yeah.
Now without Elle, it's kind of like he's kind of lost his way a little bit. It's really interesting. I am having fun. I'm enjoying it. We just got to episode 7. That was the place where we stopped.
7, yeah. You finished 7.
And episode 7 is interesting. I'll say that it wasn't my favorite out of all of them, but
I can't even remember. We watched it at 3 a.m.
When they're all when you binge, you kind of forget what episodes are which. Yeah. I still need to finish episode 5. So 4 more after that. And I'm excited. I think overall it'll be received well.
It seems like it's building to something.
How are you guys liking it relative to season 1?
Not as much, but I still like it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't finished it yet, so it's hard to say.
Do you think we've lost that spark a little bit?
Well, I think just because you can't kind of recreate what happened with the first season.
Sure.
It was an anomaly. It blew up like over a weekend.
It felt like
and all of us
hidden thing that you kind of stumbled upon. Like it was, it
right.
was the first Netflix show that really blew up. So I don't think anyone was expecting it to be as good or as successful as it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's this huge thing, so you're not going to have that surprise.
This might be when you talk about it blowing up, it might become a part of kind of like the Halloween zeitgeist. I think this might be something that like people put on in the background for Halloween parties in the coming years, or just up there with all of the really cool 80s and early 90s Spielberg films.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the new characters so far? We got Max.
Well, we have my new favorite character.
What is his name?
Max's older brother.
The douche.
The douche.
The douche.
The douche.
The
tool.
He's kind of over the top, but in a fun way.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun.
I mean, he's like kind of a white supremacist, we think.
Yeah, that was kind of
super mullety hair.
Yeah,
and
awful hair. He sort of looks like Zac Efron.
The weaselly mustache that's not quite there.
It's like gross.
Yeah,
kind of can't look.
Great upper body though.
The girls.
We can't deny that.
That's true.
Dynamite
really
areolas.
Oh God, yeah.
The little girl, Max is growing on me. I think it's really odd because it just came out a couple months ago, and there's a lot of the whole show is an homage to everything, but it reminds me of It a lot.
Her being the one girl and a redhead and having a troubled home life.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a common trope. And
what are the names of all the characters again? The little boys.
Lucas, Mike, Dustin, and Will.
Okay.
I like that Will's having a much bigger role this
Yes,
season.
Yeah.
He's great.
And he's doing a really great job, I think.
All of them, you do kind of dive into more of their individual stories a little, as opposed to as a group.
Dustin's mom.
Dustin's mom's great. Yeah.
What about the little sister?
Lucas's family
is.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, you said yesterday my favorite thing, because we keep seeing more of her. We're a little further than you, but we keep seeing more
got such attitude.
of
I love her.
And you're right. Like she needs to have her own spin-off.
Nerds.
Yeah. Or like just a quick straight to the internet to a website, like 5-minute episodes every once in a while, where she gives hot takes on things, like
so
from
cute.
the 80s. You're like, I don't know about Polly Pocket,
Like
y'all.
somehow a 6-year-old in the 80s made a YouTube reaction video.
It seems like this for nerds.
Yeah, she's playing Clue, and she's like, "Is he a chump?" Or, I don't
Oh no, Professor Plum. Yeah, that'd be great.
She's great.
Sean Astin's character's been
Interesting.
interesting. Like, I'm not sure about him yet.
Yeah. There was like an homage sort of to the Goonies when he was like, oh God, what did he say?
Something about
there's an X on a
Oh,
map,
it's
and
like
he's
a
like,
pirate. Is there like pirate treasure at the
right.
end of the
He's
X?
like, oh, he's good at that shit.
That went over my head.
I'm like, I'm liking his character. They're not utilizing him a ton, which I think was a good use of him.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think he's good as far as like helping our protagonist for the show. And I mean,
he seems like a
it's
nice
the,
guy.
It's the perfect person for the role.
Right.
How can you? I mean,
get Winona Ryder. Who else are you going to get from that era? That's perfect. Sean Astin.
Who's
Yeah.
not a total mess right now.
Exactly.
I mean, we can't have Corey Feldman on the show.
Right. I'm sure he was calling them like, "Hey guys,
yeah,
I'll be there on Monday."
We can't have what's his name from Buffy. He's in jail again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Xander.
Xander again.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, really? Anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Nicholas Brandon.
I know.
But anyways, yeah. So I think overall, though, we like it. I think it's doing like a 97 or something. It's doing very well.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Keeps you glued to the TV.
Yeah, it's like so hard to stop.
You always want to keep
It's like,
going.
is it over already?
It's filmed like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
And
filmed
every
just like a movie.
episode ends with a cliffhanger, and you're like, "Oh my God,
Yes.
I have to keep going." So it's a good show.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the name of the new character too that they added? Who's a private who's a PI, I believe.
Oh, Murray.
Yeah, and we know him from
Love.
Yeah, he's a
and
comedian.
other
He's
things.
on Another Period. He's on Love.
We learn more about him. I won't spoil it too much for you, but like he's playing a very similar character to that of Love.
Okay.
Just like he's playing himself. He's typecast.
What he does.
I think I just watched that episode with.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like him. I think he's
I
fun.
think his character is funny.
Now the most you're right. The most recent episode, the world expands a lot. The world is we are now outside of the city, and it is my least favorite episode, and because it is tonally very different than anything Stranger Things has ever done.
Take it back to Hawkins is what you're saying. Don't
take
go
it back
out
to
of
Hawkins, and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where it ends up back again because it can't. But it felt very different.
It's like a very dark side episode. Like it's as if we're delving into like some Star Wars dark side territory.
Oh yeah, it's like they are talking about Star Wars the entire episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
It's like a very
Yeesh.
Darth Vader type of episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
So I won't spoil it anymore. But yes, thank you for tuning into Screen Source. This is every Sunday at 3 p.m. MST on twitch.tv/Color Circuit Live. Talk about film and television. Some news, some reviews, and some trailers. Next week we'll be reviewing Thor Ragnarok.
Yay!
Definitely. And thank you for joining us for last minutes.
Yeah, it's always fun to jump
Thank
on.
you, Scott.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. And stay tuned for our newly branded rebranded show Down in Front, formerly known as MST 1080p.
Both are solid names.
Both are solid
Both are
names.
solid.
Both
Yeah.
developed by Scott, and I really do. I love the name of the old one, but the new one's
Down in
is great
Front,
too,
yeah,
yes. And
describes it pretty
it's
well.
ours now.
Yeah, it's ours. We can
Yeah.
put that on T-shirts and shit. So that's what we want.
Yes. So we're going to be watching Jim Cotta. It looks like an 80s film where a U.S. Olympic gymnast learns karate and
Kicks
melds the two together and kicks ass. It is going to be fucking fantastic.
all we need.
Voted 17th worst film of all time. So stick around for that. We'll be going on in the next 10 minutes or so. Thank you, Hesher, and everybody else that stuck around. And thank you, Bond, for
Thank you, Bond.
producing.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a few. Bye-bye.
Bye.